In a world overflowing with stories, some remain hidden in plain sight. Children of Noisy Village isn't just another children's book, it's a window into a vanishing way of life that holds secrets many have forgotten. When I first discovered Astrid Lindgren's masterpiece, I expected simple tales of rural Swedish children. What I found instead was a carefully crafted philosophy disguised as innocent adventures. The question that haunted me was this: why did Lindgren create this particular vision of childhood? What was she trying to preserve? The answer began to emerge as I examined the timing. Published in the aftermath of World War II, when industrialization was accelerating and traditional rural communities were disappearing, this wasn't mere nostalgia, it was a deliberate act of preservation. Consider the freedom these children enjoy. They roam forests unsupervised, build rafts on lakes, and create their own social order without constant adult intervention. This independence isn't accidental, it's essential to Lindgren's hidden message. The 6 children of Noisy Village exist in a delicate balance between structure and freedom. Their days follow the rhythm of seasons and necessary farm work, yet within these boundaries, their imaginations run wild. This paradox, freedom within structure, forms the core of Lindgren's vision. But there's something more unsettling beneath the surface. Throughout the book, there are subtle references to a changing world beyond their village. Trains bringing visitors from cities. New machines appearing on neighboring farms. The occasional mention of newspapers with troubling headlines. The village exists in a bubble of time, protected, but for how long? Most revealing is what's missing from the narrative. No mentions of war, despite Sweden's precarious neutrality during World War II. No references to the technological revolution transforming agriculture. The children's world is deliberately isolated from these realities. This is where the mystery deepens. Was Lindgren creating a fantasy or documenting something real? Historical records suggest her fictional Noisy Village was based on her own childhood home of Nas in Smaland. But how much was memory and how much was wishful revision? In one particularly haunting passage, Lisa, our narrator, describes a moment when the children find an abandoned cottage deep in the forest. Inside, everything is perfectly preserved as if the inhabitants had simply vanished. The children play house there for an afternoon, then return home, never mentioning their discovery to the adults. This seemingly innocent episode takes on darker significance when you realize what it represents: a way of life that disappeared without warning, preserved only in memory. The true power of Lindgren's work emerges when you understand what happened in the decades after publication. The Sweden she was quietly fighting to preserve largely vanished. Small family farms were consolidated. Traditional knowledge was lost. Children's freedom became restricted by new social norms. Noisy Village wasn't just a story, it was a time capsule, a preservation of childhood as Lindgren believed it should be. But here's what keeps me awake at night. In the final chapter, there's a cryptic reference to something the children buried beneath the old oak tree, something they promised never to dig up until they were grown. Lindgren never reveals what this treasure was. Some scholars believe it was merely a childhood game. Others suggest it represents something more profound, perhaps the manuscript itself, a testament to a vanishing world. The children of Noisy Village grew up long ago. The real question is, did anyone ever return to that oak tree? And if they did, what did they find beneath its roots?